Yeah, so I would strictly take it as like it would be a total hypocritical thing to say that there's not spiritual activity going on when the whole world believes in this spirit of God. You see what I'm saying? Like, and if it's not a spirit, then how come it said that in the beginning of the Bible, right? So you know clearly there's something spiritual going on. And they'll talk about angels and demons, but see, they'll never break it down. They'll never get into the difference between a cherubim, a seraphim, a ophanim. You see what I'm saying? Then there's Rephaim, the Nephilim. There's so many different things that like they never get into. And I'm like, man, I started seeing that like, yo, like something ain't right about this years and years and years ago. And I always knew my whole life that like, man, just something was off with it. You know, it's like I knew that there's um, a creator. You see what I'm saying? I know that there's an almighty source where all things come from. Like, yo, I know that I felt it ever since I was a child, but it just never sat right with me, like in that traditional setting. See what I'm saying? And that stuff was beat into the ancestors, man. So you have to understand how deep it was that, like, when the Europeans came over here, like, yo, like, the ancestors was already dealing with that. So your ancestors was not dealing with that spiritual system, even though they was, but it was in a more unadulterated form. See, when you get into that, now you're getting into the degraded form, and this form of a spiritual system was used to enslave the person. That's why the Bible has stuff in it like talking about being obedient to slave man. Come on, man, I ain't making that up. I ain't lying on it. So I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, yo, that's why I said, like, nah, man, I'm not gonna bow to something, you know what I'm saying, that's talking about requiring blood sacrifice. Man, that's some weird stuff, man. Like, yo, that's weird, bro. Like, that's real weird. And so all I'm saying is that there's definitely spiritual activity here. We cannot deny that. If you research what the ancients was teaching, they taught you about all different kinds of spirits. Like I said, some of them are small, some of them are very large and vast. And like when you enter into the spiritual realm, you'll clearly know what I'm talking about. Anyone who's even had a psychedelic experience before, you see what I'm saying? Like, they know the oneness where like you're connected and intertwined with all things, whether you want to be or not. This vast organism I'm sitting on right now, barefoot, getting grounded, Mother Earth. This is a living organism. Yo, and she talks to you if you listen. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, the source has been right here the whole time. I remember years ago, I was like, dang, man, you know what? I've been looking and looking and looking, and you've been right here in my face the whole time. And it amazed me, you know, but that was like my point where like Buddha was sitting under the Bodhi tree. That's what that was for me that night when I was looking at the night sky. And I was looking at the night sky when I had that realization. So that's what I'm saying, that I've been in this thing for a while. Like, this was like back in like 2013, something like that. Like I said, like when I was young, man, I've always been on this spiritual thing. So I'm just getting to the level of getting the truth now by resonance, by me wanting to know the truth. Hey, y'all remember, man, y'all who been with me since the jump, y'all remember when I was showing y'all that thing that was in the sky that I took pictures of? Man, I figured out what that was, y'all. I never came back on here and just, rambled about it. But yeah, I figured out what that was. That I seen in the ancient text where it talked about that when there's a sincere devotee that is truly devout, heart, soul, and mind, you see what I'm saying, into finding God and finding the truth, it will manifest itself to you as you desire it to be seen. And I swear to you, like I told you that night when I was taking them pictures of that, my brother and cousin was standing right there. They didn't even see it. It was like they couldn't even see it. I took the pictures of it though. They was like, oh no, man, I ain't even see it. I guess because they were so wrapped up in their conversation or whatever. But I'm like, man, the thing was right there in the sky. They were standing right there. They just didn't see it. And I'm like, man, like, yo, that's wild, man. I'm like, but at that point in time, I was so external with it, y'all. You see what I'm saying? And again, the spiritual entity, God, this is not a joke. Like, not everything you see in these skies is always them. You see what I'm saying? I ain't saying that they don't got stuff up there. That Elon Musk got that satellite, that Starlink shit, or at least I see it up there. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, that's his satellite. But yeah, you know, so there are things, and like when you start getting into the ancient knowledge about how the heavens is above us, and it's an ocean, the celestial ocean, and those waters above us tie into the waters down here. Now see, just like when you were born into water, see what I'm saying? Or when you go into be incubated, you see what I'm saying? It's inside of the amniotic fluid that you live in. See what I'm saying? Like when you look at like embryology and you look at how we transform and like come into this form that you see, like man, like it doesn't start off like this. And that's where you kind of get into like where they say, oh, you whore or horror. That's a feminine force. Like Seven Bomar explained that in the darkness, when that baby is being put together inside of you, before it comes out looking like, you know, oh, it's Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, before that, when you got parts and the entity is being woven together. You see what I'm saying? And the cells and the organism is shaping and forming and fashioning and molding, you know, into what it is to become. It's just like the seed when you plant it and then it becomes a seedling, and then the seedling gets larger and then it bears fruit, and then the fruit, you know, but you know the cycle. So that's all I'm saying, y'all. But man, spirit light body, y'all, like, yo, if you tuning into this and you liking this, man, I'll jump on this stuff a little bit deeper if you want, man. You hit the like button. You know, I ain't gonna just do it for nothing though, man. So I love y'all, man. If one person showing up, I'm gonna keep coming in, y'all. So I love you, man. Spirit light body, y'all take care, man. Palo Santo, sage, and researcher protection crystals like clear quartz, your black tourmaline, any type of black crystal or red, they're pretty good for protection. It goes with the root chakra. Get out here on the earth, get grounded, clean up your damn diet, because shit infects you by shit that you eat. It weakens your aura. When you drink alcohol, it's opening up holes in your aura, and these things can jump into you more. You know when you seen someone off that shit, like, man, you was not you, bro. Like, yo, like something was like, bro, you was wilding. Like, yeah, like these discarnate entities will go right into your back and jump right in and go off of your energy, and you'll be the one going down for it. Spirit light body, y'all, control yourself or you will be controlled. Wholeness.